Hey, Bless Tribe, it's Coach Jess. I'm back again with another mental health motivational word. I hope you guys are having a fabulous, fabulous hump day, okay? Um, Today is gymnastics day for London, so this is like a long day for us. And I always tell her, like, make sure, like, the day before you get enough rest. She want to just stay up and talk and talk. And like today, she woke up tired, and it's been raining here. The storms have passed, but a lot of people are still in need of things. And a lot of people are still displaced. Homes are destroyed, schools and buildings and businesses are destroyed. So continue to pray for people who was impacted by the storm Helen. Okay, so um, yeah, today I just woke up very slow. I was telling God like I didn't really want to get on camera today, but I said, "Okay, I'm going to be obedient and I don't want to hold anybody back from getting what God got for y'all." Okay? So as a messenger, it's not always easy to deliver the messages, but I'm obedient. I have surrendered. I'm like, "God, whatever you want me to do, I got to do it." And I can see the more that I press toward that mark, doors are opening, people around me are changing, they're seeing the change in me. God is opening up brand new opportunities. He's sending the rain of help and resources and abundance and influence and connections, kingdom connections. So even though you don't feel like doing a thing and that's your thing, you got some heads to do. My sister, she always talk about that. She's like, I got some heads to do, but I really don't feel like doing them. A lot of people, you may be doing customer service or whatever you're doing, customer care on the phone, and you're like, I'm really not feeling this today. Push past that. Push past any drama that's going on. Push past. Once you get the ability to push past, you don't want to do something, you always come out victorious on the other side. So all God needs you to do is show up. Get out of the way and show up. Because before I got on here, I said, well, if I really don't want to do it, what am I going to say? He said, get up here and show up and you get out of the way. Okay? And it's not the easiest thing to do because we're humans. We want to take control. We want to be in charge of things. Okay? So, what God had wanted me to tell you guys, and I believe this came to me on yesterday morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning. God has had me stay up a little later and get some things done, organize some documents, organize some personal things I have going on. And as I was going through those documents, I found a court case that I was caught up in, and it was serious charges. And I found a paper that had no business being in this particular place, but it said, all charges dismissed. So God wanted me to get on to tell somebody a testimony on today. Like you are in some criminal situations. You may be in some things that you feel like, okay, even personally, financially, legally, it can be across the board. You may be in a situation and you feel like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. God says, stop trying to get yourself out of it. You cannot get yourself out of it. He said, the case is closed. So that's going to be the title of the message. He gave it to me just as clear as day. The case is closed. And I immediately, once I found that paper, I had kind of forgot about that blessing. I had forgot about that place that he pulled me out of in that very moment. I immediately got on my knees and I started praying and praising God. Thank you, Jesus. Because in the moment when I was wrapped up in that thing, when I was tied up in that thing, I did not know how it was going to pan out. Because sometimes God teaches those lessons and he make us go through certain consequences where we like, oh no, I know I got myself here, but I want you to help me get myself out of it. So in those moments when it was time to go in a courtroom, when it was time to get the lawyers, when it was time to get with friends and say, listen, let's all pray together, family members worry, it was a big situation. So God told me to get on today and tell you guys that the case is closed, okay? So whatever situation, financially, emotionally, spiritually, work-related, criminal charges, marriage issues, children issues, ailments in your body, family issues, whatever it may be, he's saying the case is closed. Stop trying to worry about it and allow him to fix it. Don't just stand there and do nothing, but do the steps that he's telling you to do. Like for me, step one was to get up, take my daughter to get on the school bus, get her organized. Me, I've been washing, doing some things early this morning, tidying up, getting prepared to meet some deadlines, still serving, but I had to do the steps that were necessary for you and I to be here today. So the same thing with you. You have to do the steps that God's telling you to do. He tell you to go connect with that lawyer. He let somebody come in your path and give you a resource. I've had so many people that has been God ordained, that has been heaven sent crossed paths with me, they have been helping me grow my business. They have been helping me generate more income. They've been helping me just learn things that I didn't know. And I was lacking information. And I asked God, what was I missing? He said, you ain't missing nothing. Just go right to that store that I tell you to go to. Go right to that park where I tell you to go to. Go right this way. And along the journey, you meet people that's going to help you problem solve the situation. God has specific people he wants to speak on your behalf. In certain rooms that I'm coming into, God is saying people spoke on your behalf to get you there. I allowed this person to help be your destiny pusher, help be your destiny helper to push you to your next level in his kingdom. So do not try to go and get your own resources. Don't go try to find your own lawyer. Don't try to go do it by yourself. Sit and wait. And as you are going along, you're going to meet a stranger in a grocery store, and they're going to say, I'm a lawyer, and I have this banquet tonight, and you're going to say, that's the lawyer. God going to say, go talk to that person. You're going to have to show some vulnerability. So along this journey, you're going to have to be vulnerable and create time to reflect. So like my legal issues, of course, naturally, God will give you that same test again to see if you're going to do that same thing or if you're going to respond in that same way that got you in trouble in the first place. And if you go back and double back, then that means that you didn't learn a lesson. But if you don't, that means you took time to reflect. Reflection is just meaning that you just take time to say, listen, I remember how scared I was. I remember how shameful I felt. I remember how dirty I felt. I remember how unknowledgeable about what to do, what to say, which way to go. I know I'm not doing that no more. You have to have that same mindset as you are reflecting on situations that God put in your path for you to learn from. Me personally, I was just like, I don't know how this even happened, but he wanted me to go through those experiences so I can be here today to show you that all charges can be dismissed. All the cases can be closed, okay? So whatever open situations you have in my mind, I think about like open computer tabs. So in my mind, I be having like 1,000. And I get so frustrated when I go to London and her little Kindle tablet have like 25 open tabs. It drives me nuts. I'm like, exit out all these things. And then she wonder why the device is cracking and moving slow and just not, it's like kind of crashing and won't let her do her Roblox or whatever she's trying to do. The same thing with us. God say close some of those open tabs and practice reflecting. When you reflect, you already had that mental note. I'm not about to get myself caught up back up in that situation. I'm not about to go back and put myself right back in the same hole God just pulled me out of. So when he pull you out of this relationship, you can't go back. When he pull you out of that domestic violence situation, you can't go back. When he tell you that family member is not your kingdom pusher, it's not your destiny helper, do not go back and call that person on the phone when you get lonely, when you get vulnerable, when you get feeling like you don't want to be by yourself no more. That's not the person you can reach out to. When God help you get out of that financial debt, when he reverses it and set you debt free, he put income in your life that'll be able to help you clear that off. The people say we don't even know what a debt went to. When he gets you out of that, don't go back and get another credit card, go buy another this or another that to put yourself right back in the financial deficit you was in before. Whatever it is, especially criminal, okay? And I know people out there struggling with it, even like driving tickets and speeding tickets or whatever else. Something minimum or something big. Don't go back and put yourself back in that same situation. Be vulnerable. Take time to reflect and say, listen, I ain't going back there. So he said the case is closed. Your criminal cases will be resolved. So God know you learned a lesson. So I'm hoping if you on here with Coach Jess, if you subscribe to this channel, if you are on this wave of your transformation and development and getting into purpose and living a more prosperous life, you learned a lesson. All right. So we're going to just assume everybody learned a lesson. If you hadn't before watching this video, we have all learned our lesson. And we know that once God get us out of our pit, out of the hell, out of the chaos, out of the drama, we're not going back. It's simple. We learned. It's a part of our journey, but we're not going back. We're not accepting that type of chaos in our life no more. And you don't have to travel the same roads you used to with those same friends. A lot of times we get caught up because we're listening to other people. That's one reason I was encouraging you guys When you're looking for a resource, when you don't know what to do, when you're looking for a lawyer, when you are trying to problem solve a situation, big or small, kids need something, and you don't know exactly who God wants you to reach out to and utilize, yeah, you can do a quick little Google search and he'll say, no, none of them, won't none of them pan out. But along the journey, he's going to make you bypass with somebody who's going to be able to help you, okay? So, those friends, some of those friends may not be giving you good advice. So, always, always, always go to your father to see who exactly he wants you to disclose information with, who do he want you to be, people he wants to be your support in that trying time, and let him bring the resource. Okay, don't go back to your friends, because a lot of time our friends will get us in trouble. They give us poor counsel. They don't have any embedded interest into what we got going on. They just telling you something. They just, Les Brown said, 80% don't care, and the other 20% just glad it didn't happen to them. Okay, sometimes you hear some news, you like, oh girl, I don't know how you gonna do it, but I'm just glad it's not them. A lot of my friends, their mothers are still alive. I know that they care, but I know they're just like, listen, I'm glad it won't me, because I'm not ready to let go. I wasn't either. But sometimes our friends, they may not have the right amount of compassion, information, knowledge, and definitely wisdom. Your father got the wisdom that you gonna need in order to get yourself out of this situation, okay? Continuously pray throughout this situation. Pray and trust your daddy. Your daddy birthed you. He knew you was going to be right there in that courtroom. He knew you was going to be right there with that man. He knew you was going to be right there at that little job. They treating you bad, talking bad against you, trying to set you up. It's so many people that's so miserable. They make a plan to set you up. When you just like, listen, I'm looking for a reason to get put out of here anyway. You ain't got to set me up. Just send me right on out the door. So it's a lot of people that's miserable that's wanted to bring you down, okay? So, and another thing, like the reason why I wanted to tell you guys that everything is God ordained, I have a deadline that I'm trying to meet today specifically. Wednesdays is always those days. Just like I was telling London, get enough sleep. I got to get enough sleep too, because I have a lot of different things that I'm working on that specifically is on Wednesday. And as I went into my backpack where I have some of my school stuff at, I found this paper, and the paper is the exact same paper that I need to complete my deadline by today. And God was just telling me along this journey, I got everything planned out. I actually called a library and asked this specific question when it was right there in my book bag, and God brought it back to my memory today. It's just a blank sheet. It's a piece of paper that's not even in a notebook, that's just tore out. Some little note I took while I was reading an article one time. And God brought that to my attention today, and he was saying that everything about this day is already planned out. So even if you are in hell, and I have been in hell before, if ain't nobody else been on the internet and told you that they've been through a hard time where they had nothing in the bank account, where their parents abandoned them, where they have saw people that they love, bad things happen to them, they've been left for dead. I've been through some stuff, okay? So God was saying he knew that you was going to be right here today at this very moment watching this very video. He knew it already. So he's just giving you signs and wonders along the way to encourage you, to let you know that it's nothing about today that's brand new. Today is already predestined for you to be successful. He'll give you tips, and he'll give you tools. He'll give you strategies. He'll give you resources. He'll give you the confidence and the boldness. He'll give you the things that you need to be successful on this day. I used to work with an elder, and she always used to say, God, get us through this day. And that prayer just stuck with me. It's so simple. It's so powerful, and it's straight to the point. Get me through this day. So that was just a little encourager that God gave me personally. Jessica, I already knew this day would be here. Just go forth and do my will. If we do our daddy's will, we don't have to worry about impressing friends. We don't have to worry about no judge when we go up there. We don't got to be worrying about what's going to happen when we step off. Get organized before you step off. Get organized before you step off, if you can, okay? That's one thing that I'm working on too, just getting more organized before I make a life-altering decision or change or, anything like that, because that adds extra stress when it doesn't need to be. Even planning to have children, relocating, transitioning from jobs, starting a business. Like, plan out the best way you can, okay? So back to the message about case closed. That was my little commercial. So during the hard times when you're going through criminal charges, you're going through testing times in your relationship, you're going through reaching an educational goal, you're going through tough situations, God is saying, focus on some of those things that really matter to you, so you can keep the grand scheme of things in perspective. Sometimes we lose perspective when we are overwhelmed, when we're scared, when we're fearful, when we are anxious and just full of anxiety, and we don't know how it's going to work out. We lose perspective about what's really important. So God told me this morning during a devotion, it was talking about a person wished to be buried in a certain place and things like that. And what stuck out to me during that, it was about the word wish. God told me, Jessica, what do you wish about? Bless Tribe, what do y'all wish about? What is something that is burning desire in your heart that you're like, I want to obtain that thing. I want to go to that place. I want this for my family, this for my children, this for my lineage and my heritage. What is the things that you wish about? God wants us to focus while we're knowing that these cases are already closed, whatever open tabs mentally you have. God already working those things out. He know you're full of debt. He know you're full of baby. He know you're full of stress. You're full of anxiety. You're full of anger. You're full of grief. Whatever it is, He know you're full of fear. Trust me, I've been in all of those situations. He knows that you're right there where you at today, but He wants you to keep it in perspective. Keep your head in the game. I think what it told me to write down was, keep your head. So in the scripture, somebody had told somebody to keep their head. And what that means is that keep things in perspective, hold it in a road. Don't get off kilter where you lose your mind, start backtracking and looking for stuff in the daytime with a flashlight, stuff that don't make no sense. Don't get off kilter. Les Brown said, when stuff go bad, don't you go with it. All right. So that means keep a level head. Keep your head. Keep things in perspective. And one way to do that is think about your goals. That's why it's always good to have some goals. It's always good to have your business. It's always good to have things that mean something to you. If you really don't care about that job, that's how come you can fuss your boss out and just don't care nothing about it. If you don't really care about that man, that's why you cannot cook for 10 days and don't wash no dishes and don't wash no clothes and don't have no sort of intimacy, holding hands, watching movies, Netflix, or nothing. That's why you can do that, because you don't have no care about it. But things that you really care about, things that you really want to hold on to, you like, I love that house. I love sleeping in that bed. I'm gonna just keep my mouth closed on that job and just apply for another one. I love my husband. I don't want no Jezebel spirit to roll up on him. Listen, I'm going to be in there cooking the meals. I'm going to be eating stuff I don't even really like to eat. I'm going to make sacrifices. I'm going to keep my body together. I'm going to keep my mind together. I'm going to keep my mouth closed from time to time, even though I know I could reach over there and just correct the situation real quick. I'm not even going to do that. I don't want to argue with my husband. I don't want those problems. So things that you really care about help you keep things in perspective when all hell breaks loose. If you have not gone in the courtroom just yet, just know you might not have a courtroom experience, but you're going to have a go to the funeral home and pick out a casket experience. You're going to have some financial deficit experiences. You're going to have your husband or your wife have to do some things to hurt your heart, and you got to forgive them experiences. Your favorite family member that you think the world of ain't even going to mention your name in rooms that can help you get to your next level. They're not going to support a dollar in your business. They're going to talk about your business where they don't have a business to start with. You're going to experience something. If not that, you might be thinking, I'm not a criminal. I didn't think I was either. But listen, you might not be experiencing those things on the spectrum, but you're going to experience something. You're going to go through something in this life, okay? So when you're thinking about putting things in perspective, think about what you're wishing about. Think about what means something to you. So a wish is something that you desire, a strong desire. You strongly want to purchase that house. You strongly want to be married. You strongly want to be able to start that business and have flexibility in your schedule. You want to lose them 50 pounds. You want to do all these things. These are my strong desires, okay? But input your own strong desires. keep these things that you're wishing and hoping and praying about in perspective when all hell breaks loose, so that when things go bad, you won't go with it, okay? So another thing to think about to keep things in perspective is, what are you hoping for? Something that you can't get easily. Basically, it'll be a miracle if it happened to somebody like you. It'll be a miracle if a good man decided to marry you. It'll be a miracle if you bought that house in that neighborhood, or you started that multi-million-dollar business, or you lost the 50 pounds, or you started a family, or whatever it is, or you got that degree. It won't be something you can just easily do, like it's easily accessible to you. That's why it says it's a strong desire. It's something that you've been hoping for a long time. Keep those things in perspective when bad things happen, okay? So when you're knowing that the case is closed, keep your head during tough times. So stay focused on serving God. Trust me, and when I get up here, I just told y'all in the beginning, I was very honest and vulnerable. I didn't really want to get up here, but as I'm getting up here, I'm reversing myself out of that feeling of not wanting to serve. Everybody doesn't have that same heart temperament every day, depending on what's going on, to serve. But God say, keep your head during tough times. Serve me anyway. Serve me when you feel like it, when you don't feel like it, when you want to, when things are high, when they're low, when they're in the middle, when they're hot, when they're cold. You got to stay consistent in this area of serving your daddy, okay? That's why I'm up here now, because I'm being consistent serving my daddy, even when it's hot, even when it's cold, even when I'm tired, even when I got other things to worry about. God said, give him his first fruit. Because I was like, I'll do it later. God said, you can do it later if you want to. I have had enough of being hard-headed, okay? Hands up, I surrender. I'm just not even fighting it anymore, because it's no need. You're going to do what God wants you to do anyway. So keep calm. That's the hardest thing, is to stay calm. So I was telling y'all, when I was up there before the judge, my heart was beating. I was like scared, not knowing, like, oh, I hope ain't nobody in here to see Coach Jess up in here. You just have all these other thoughts going on at the time. But stay calm. Stay calm. God already got it worked out. The person he connected you with, that's the right person that he need representing you. The person that's helping you move into your new location, that's the right person he got that's going to help protect you, make sure his plan goes accordingly, okay? Stay calm. So do the activities that bring you peace. That's why I'm saying you have to focus on some things that are happy, that are joyous. Being a mom, okay, if that's all you got, being a dad, working at that job, having some sort of income to come in, even if it's all gone as soon as you get it. Be thankful for it. Do steps to help you get to a better place where you don't have to give it all away. You have some for yourself, some for your personal goals, some for you to invest, to save. Okay, so it's levels to it. You have to put things in place to get to where you want to be, okay? So do things to bring you peace, and stay hidden. So I am in a season where I'm like, I want to be more reserved. I'm not ashamed of serving God. I'm not pushing my channel off on people who want it. I want them to get it, but I'm not wanting to be out there in the front, like, everywhere I go, I got this channel. No, if God places this on my heart to share it with someone, I will. But in this season that I'm in, I'm wanting to be hidden. Far as I don't want to be so out there about what I'm doing. I want to get things organized. I want to serve my daddy diligently behind the scenes, where it's really not that recognizable just yet. But at a point in time, God will say, okay, I brought you a more increased crowd. I brought you to another level. So I'm enjoying the phase of the process of growing the channel, growing the business, reaching goals, balancing everything out. Because sometimes we can want to get to a level too fast, and we're not able to serve everyone properly and professionally, okay? So stay hidden for a while. It's okay to not just be the it girl this season, okay? Sit out a season. So don't be ashamed about what God asked you to do, or whatever troubles came your way. Like I said, if people don't have criminal charges that they're dealing with, they don't have relationship issues, their life is just perfect, at some point, you're going to come across a situation where you're going to say, God, close this case. God, close this situation. God, terminate this relationship. God, get me out of this toxic work environment. God, get me out of this family hell that I'm in, this constant badgering and manipulation and just using people and no boundaries. Get me out of this thing. It's going to be something where you're going to say, please close this case. You're going to be pleading to God to close it, okay? So don't be ashamed of whatever you're going through. It's a part of your testimony. So one day you can be able to be on the other side of the screen sharing your testimony up in church or at a business office or whatever it may be. You can use any opportunity to serve your Father. You can make anything your pulpit. You can make any situation, even by the oodles and noodles in the Walmart or wherever you shop at, the Sam's Club, the Costco's, the BJ's. Listen, be right up in there by the Dove body wash. Listen, let me tell you about how God brought me out of that courtroom. Let me tell you the lawyer he used to get all of my charges dropped. Let me help you out. Let me give you a resource. You can be a walking resource and a walking testimony for your Father. You don't have to be an evangelist or apostle or all these other titles that people have. You don't need all that to serve your daddy and to help another person move forward, okay? So don't be ashamed. Be willing to open your mouth and be vulnerable and help somebody. Because this message right here is going to help somebody. Because I never really wanted to share this type of stuff. But God said we're going to make everything work for your good. People think that people that look like you or educated like you or come from that background or in that region or with that business never been through nothing. But he's coming to dismantle all of that, okay? That's why he said, Jessica, you got to get out of the way. I got to use the stories that you don't even want to talk about. I got to use certain stuff you don't even want to share because I got to help somebody, all right? It's not about me. I'm already on the other side of self-development. I'm already on the other side of transformation. I've already started the business. I have the channel. It's not about me. It's about you, the person that's watching it, okay? Do not be ashamed about bad things you've been through, bad things you've done. You learned the lesson. God has closed the case. He's removed you out that situation. Now you got to go back and help somebody else. You got to be the modern day Harriet Tubman. You can't just free yourself. You got to go back and free somebody else, okay? So, God is providing his children with opportunities to correct the mistakes. So you made that mistake on that last job. Don't go to this next job and blame everybody else. You got to take accountability. You got to exhibit self-control. Don't go to your next marriage, okay, your next relationship, your friendship, and you do the same thing. The common denominator is you. You have to change, okay? So one thing that is a theorist that I used to study while I was doing my child development education research, and his name was John Locke, and he had a theory called the clean slate theory. So he believed that all kids was born with a clean slate, meaning that you don't know nothing and that your mannerisms and things like that is impacted by your environment, your experiences, and what people have shown you and demonstrate to you. And that's what God is saying he's doing to you. He's giving you a clean slate. He's following the John Locke theory on today. He's giving you a clean slate. So that's why I said you don't have to be ashamed about it. You don't have to be embarrassed about anything that you've been through, anything you're going through, because he's going to clear your slate. Even if people don't want to clear it, if they don't want to accept you on the other side of your healing, on the other side of you learning from your lesson, on the other side of you changing and transforming who you are, even if they don't never want to accept you, that's their bad. Move on to people who are willing to accept you, who are willing to tune in, who are willing to listen, who are willing to learn from your mistakes so they can be encouraged on their own thing that they're going through, that God already brought you through. People need to see that a face like you, that a face like me, that oh Lord, that dog scared me. My neighbor has like this dog, I don't know. But anywho, people need to see that a person like you and a person like me, that we have come to the other side of success. So even if, that just threw me off. Holy Spirit, bring it back. So even if, you've been through hard times and people keep on bringing up your past and they want to like just keep on dragging you through the mud, putting salt on your name, keep reopening the same wound over and over and over again, get away from them for a season. That you just can't heal in that situation. If they can never see your value, never see the work you're doing, if they can't see it, you're gonna have to get away from them, okay? You're gonna have to distance yourself. You're gonna have to get into a community. You're gonna have to come over here and join the Blessed Tribe. You're gonna have to subscribe to the channel. You're gonna have to get into loving, nurturing, cultivated environments where you're thinking with like-minded people. You're connecting with like-minded people who are wanting to help you clean your slate, who are wanting to help you clear your name, who are wanting to help you get started in doing what God wants you to do. You can't live in the past, Okay, so when people don't want to help you go on to the next opportunity to better yourself and don't want you to take advantage of opportunities God got for you, just know that those are not your people. Okay, so He gonna give you opportunities to correct yourself and mold you into what He wants you to be. So God set me here today to set you free. So be patient while He's closing your cases. Be patient while He's moving things out of the way to get you into that new career field. Be patient while He's helping you apply to that school, while He's helping you lose 2 pounds a week, while He's helping you get your 10K steps, while He's helping you prepare and bake those meals. Uh, be patient during that time, okay? Focus on the things that you wishing for, that you're hoping for. Some of the things I got on my list is schedule flexibility, the luxury to travel with my child, and like personally and professionally, help serve in others, because like when you have financial obligations and your schedule is not flexible, you can't serve God the way you want to. Marriage goals, family goals, weight goals, career and educational goals. These are some of the things that help me keep a level head. When all hell breaks loose, I'm thinking about all the glory that God offers me, all the things He said He wants to give me hope and future and make prosperous, successful, financial success. I want to focus on those things when all hell break loose. When I look at my bank account and the math ain't math and things just ain't adding up and it's in the negative, sometimes I'm like, how did it even get in the negative 45 cents or something like that? Listen, when I look at it and it don't add up, I'm thinking about the goodness of God. I'm not going to continue to look at people that don't want to clear my slate, that don't want to see me in my new light. I'm getting around, I'm leaving those things behind me, and I'm getting in rooms with people who see the light. They see the glory. They see the prophetic things that God is doing in me. They seeing the vision for the business. They're seeing the upward things. People that keep dragging you back, get away from them, okay? So that's all God got for you today. He's saying, the way to set yourself free is that be patient, do the requirements to set yourself free. So if He say go to that organization, be vulnerable and tell them this financial situation, they may be able to help clear your debt. They may have an abundance of resources at that place. If He's telling you to be vulnerable and tell your coach or tell somebody or book a session and talk about it, be vulnerable and open up about that thing. You gotta do that. You gotta take the requirements. Just like when you're in college, they say, listen, you can't go to level 2,000 until you get off the level 1,000 courses. I remember when I was in college, my entry level assessment was so low, I had to start off in like the baby courses that didn't even count towards your curriculum. They was just prepping you for your curriculum. So sometimes you have to take those baby steps before you can advance. You got to do the requirements. So the same thing with you. Vulnerability is going to be a big thing. With the trusted people, God will tell you, listen, that's your person. That's the lawyer right there. That's your coach right there. That's the trusted family member I want you to confide in to help get you to the next level. They have a resource that you need that you don't have access to. They have wise, sound counsel. You don't know how many times I have reached out. I have an auntie, her name is Betty. I have another auntie named Bertha and another one named Selma, okay? And so many more. But listen, I call these ladies. I'm like, listen, I don't know. Y'all been living way longer than me. Help me learn to problem solve, okay? Problem solve out this situation. It's so many people that you can call. I was actually talking to one of my aunties, two of my aunties last night, Mavis and Shirley, okay? Name dropping, because sometimes people be like, don't forget about me. And we were just talking about praying, talking about encouraging things, talking about the upward things, talking about wise counsel. God got people right there in your family, in your community, in these leadership organizations, in your church. He got people right there that you can say, listen, I got this thing going on, and God told me there was somebody in this area that I could talk to. Do you know anything about this? Recently, I had to work on my resume. I'm like, sure, I had that same resume since 2013. It's time to revamp it. And I'm like, that's not my area. I could speak life into the resume. Get up and do what it need to do. But I didn't have the resource. So God let me meet a girl in the grocery store. Hey, I could check your resume out. I could look at it along your journey. of being obedient, you're going to meet a person just like you and I along your journey. You say, I don't know where Coach Jess came from. So many people tell me that. But I'm glad you came. I'm glad we met. I'm glad we connected. And their businesses, their marriages, their self-confidence, their boundary setting, their, listen, education goals, weight goals, confidence goals, boldness goals have just skyrocketed, went to a whole nother level. So the same thing with you. He got people along the way that's going to be able to clean your slate. They're going to be able to see you for who you are. They're going to see that you're valuable. They're going to love you to pieces, and they're going to support you, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and in the video in a second. I'm going to pray with you guys. Dear Lord Jesus, thank you so much for this hump day on today. God, thank you so much for this ability to just be able to be here today to serve your people. God, thank you for bringing me out of whatever mood I was in when I first began to record. Thank you so much for bringing other people out of their mood that they're in on today so they can do your will. God, thank you so much for our divine connection. Thank you for my new subscribers, all of my returning subscribers, all of the people that haven't even never seen the videos before. But when they come across these messages, they're going to say, listen, I'm glad God sent Coach Jess. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be your servant, for this opportunity to connect people to your kingdom. God, I just thank you and magnify your name. All the kids that's under the careship of the Blessed Tribe, God, I just thank you for them. I thank you for their mind. I thank you for their vulnerability and their innocence to keep us young. God, I thank you for giving us the wisdom to model and demonstrate exactly what the kids need to be healthy, whole adults. God, I thank you for all of the people that you've allowed me to connect with. God, thank you for their marriages. Thank you for their financial abundance. Thank you for their healing. Thank you for all the things that you're going to do upon this leadership in this ministry as us connecting together. God, thank you for blessing the families that's represented today. God, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Anything that's going on in our mind and our bodies is holding us back from serving you. God, I remove it. Any mindsets, any strongholds, and any demonic thought patterns that's holding us back from pressing play and serving you and clearing our slate. God, thank you for a clean slate. Thank you for all cases being closed. Thank you for just everything that you've allowed us to experience this far and things that you're going to do in the future. In your name I pray. Amen. All right, Blessed Tribe, I'm going to let y'all go. Remember to subscribe, comment, share, all of that, okay? So it helps the channel grow. It helps me get my name out there. It helps the algorithm and other people connect with me. I'm so glad you guys are booking your sessions. I'm so glad you guys are following me on Instagram and just learning a lot about me and learning off camera, on camera. God say this is just the beginning, okay? So connect with just the beginning so you won't have to do it in the end. I got 43% unsubscribe. I want to change that. So subscribe, okay? Like the video and continue to come up here and see what God is doing. In your name, I pray, God. You guys have a great day, okay? Bye-bye.